All right, good day, ladies and germs. Welcome to another episode of RoadFS Detail Memoirs. We are super excited. My name's Jody.
I'm Rod Pusey, and today is the day we're giving away this entire box of Buff and Shine pads and RoadFS software. Remember, it's invisible because software's magic. So, but you're going to have to wait because we do not want to sidestep our guest because today it's a person that we've been around and known and is good friends with a good friend of ours.
Shoot! When I announced it, so just so you know, this is Mike Karlen, owner of Fast Lane Detailing. And when I mentioned that you were going to be our guest, man, I cannot tell you how many people reached out and said, "Oh my gosh, you're having Mike Karlen on? He's the bomb."
Yeah, I thought Daryl was going to fly out for it. So, by the way, Daryl at Big D there, this is my Big D costume for October. And that's live. That's not made up. I really am just as gray as you are. So,
and I almost brought a wizard suit because it is Halloween this Saturday, and I was going to be, Gandalf the White. But
if I shave my head bald and I don't wear my glasses, I'm a spitting image of Charlie Brown.
Yes, you are. Anyway, big round dome.
So
Mike. Welcome, Mike. We're so excited to have you. Your wife was here, but it sounds like somebody's got to keep the shop running while you're playing with us. So
yeah, that's for sure. We got to make money.
That's it.
So start by telling us where you're at.
Okay. Well, I'm in the great state of Wisconsin, centrally located in Wisconsin. So I'm kind of in a cornfield, if you want to say. My population's about 2,200 people. And the closest town that has any amount of people is about 45 minutes away to the west and 45 minutes away to the east. Otherwise, it's a lot of small community, farmland, whatever. So,
so what are you detailing? Tractors and trucks?
Hey, we detail everything from pontoons, tractors, semis, trucks, cars, sports cars, muscle car collections. We just have a huge variety of things. I've detailed pretty much everything except for an Amish buggy, and I'm still waiting for that. So
that would be a hard thing to do. There's a lot of wood on there.
That'd be awesome.
So
get out your wood polish and
exactly
really shine that baby up.
So if you if you can kind of highlight what is your top tier, what is your thing that you're known for, what is your favorite or your go-to service?
Around here is probably our paint correction and ceramic coatings, graphene coatings. But I have to really be open to anything and everything because, with the small community, you get the people that have the price, they can only afford a couple $100 to put into their vehicle, and so be it. A lot of farm trucks we're known for too. So if you see a lot of our before and after pictures, it's going to show a lot of nasty pictures, and that usually draws in the mom vans, the soccer vans, whatever it may be. So we're just open to anything. We've been known for doing biohazard cleanups, just anything and everything that's gonna keep the doors open.
So how did you guys get started? I mean, you're a husband and wife team. How did you guys get rolling in a small community? Because I think a lot of times there's a misconception that you can't have a thriving business in a smaller market. And you were telling us pre-show that you're booked all the way to January.
Yeah. So it's a lot of work. First off, my wife was a vet tech and she doesn't really like detailing. So I give her all the props because she kind of has helped me fulfill a dream of mine, which in return, someday I got to let her just do her dream, But I actually started about 16 years ago, worked at a dealership. I really had no interest in being a detailer. I just decided I manage another shop too. And I have for like 20 years. And, I just decided I was going to start detailing cars. Started at a car dealership so I could practice and mess up all their stuff. And I saved all the checks that they gave me for about 6 months, and pretty soon the manager came up to me and said, "Do you have all of your checks?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Could you please cash them? Because our accounting department is wanting you to cash them." So my whole goal there was to start my business with that money. So that's what I did for about a year and a half, saved all that money. And we went into business out of our garage, debt free, just bought all our equipment. And I thought it was going to be just something that I would do 2, 3, 4 vehicles a month for my closest friends and family. And that's kind of how it started. And then the dealership started contacting me. The first 5 years of my detailing was, I would say 95% of it was dealership stuff. And a lot of people say you can't make money with dealerships. And I can agree with that to some point, but it is your bread and butter too. And there are some good dealerships out there that will pay. So for the first 5 years, that's what we did. And then I quickly, found out that, there's a lot of money to be made with personals. And so I started focusing on that. And now today we've been, like I said, in business for about 15 years. I would say 95% of our business is personals, 5% is dealerships.
Wow.
So
that's a big shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge shift. So how, that obviously came over time. How did you start to market the personal stuff and move in that direction?
A lot of it was word of mouth, just people getting it done. And then eventually another person would. So then I would start marketing through Facebook, really advertising for that personal. And once they, pictures are everything on Facebook, before and afters. A lot of guys, they post their after pictures, they never have their befores, or they post their befores, they never follow up with afters. And I just made it a point, like, I post all the time. And there's sometimes I don't, and it's just because I just run out of time in the day.
Yeah.
But
that's the
we're
nice
open.
thing about social media is you can post at any time. I mean, you can take the before and after pictures and post that 2 days later. You don't have to wait and, you don't have to do it right at the time.
Yeah, and what I do is I really monitor my Facebook as far as if I get a lot of likes, a lot of people, commenting, I'm going to boost that post because obviously it's drawing some attention. And if I'll boost it for $20, whatever. And if it draws a bunch more, then I'm going to boost it for another 50. And, for the people out there listening, I actually, with my ceramic coatings, what I would do is I'd do the same process. And to give you an example, I boosted a $50 boost is what I did on a coating job that we did. And out of that, we generated about $6,000 in business. So I will any day put $50 on the table so I can get $6,000 worth of business coming in. So
yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people, I mean, you go to the forums and everything, and everybody's asking, how do you do social media? And a lot of it, even when you talk to social media experts, it's a crapshoot. You find something that works for you. We have one video that has over 1 million views. And then we're like, oh, we're going to reproduce that. And we try to do something that was really similar. Nothing. I mean, it's just, it really comes down to, I think it was because my face was on it. And so they see that and they're like, they shy away from that. But, if I start by having something else first, then they get them in the hook, Anyway. So
it's the right time and place.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. And I think a lot of it is wording and how you do it. But so many people are against that. And I think that, especially now with, as you called it earlier, the COVID season, that people have got to get creative. You got to do different things. And sometimes what works on Instagram or what works on Facebook doesn't work on the other one. And so you got to kind of, do it on both sides.
I think the big key is just being consistent, right? Because you're going to do something that eventually is going to pop, right? And then you experiment with this. All right, I'll throw $50 at it. And if it explodes, great. If not, it even gives you more presence because you've boosted that post.
Yeah. And I think people should be afraid to do that. Sometimes you have posts you don't have to boost. We did an interview with the aforementioned Daryl Lyons at SEMA last year, and it was insane. I cannot believe how many people watched this video of us and Daryl. And then, like, the next day, we did a video with somebody else, similar format, same place and everything, and it didn't get half as many. And it's just, I mean, honestly, I think that one is strictly because he's got Daryl's got such a magnetic personality anyway, but I think it's just timing. Everything about timing. So, we do stuff live all the time. We'll throw little videos out there, but you never know what's going to work. So it's funny because you were mentioning farm equipment. I'm going to go back to that a little bit. There's other people that we're connected to that I've actually seen them doing tractors and combines and, big equipment and stuff. How do you price that differently?
Oh, the good question.
So when you go from, somebody walks in a Mini Cooper versus a 4-door, 3/4 ton truck, there's a price difference. But how do you deal with somebody that walks in with a tractor trailer,
A lot of times you lose your butt. No, but it's live and learn. It's like the first time doing a tractor, a boat, or a pontoon or whatever. Eventually, you start doing something more by the foot versus, or some people prefer to bid, but just the whole project. But I try to be realistic and price it a little high, and I'm always able to come down at that point. But it's different in every market. I mean, I think everybody struggles with that.
Yeah.
And it's about showing your customer, or relaying the message to them that in the end they're going to be happy with it. And at that point, getting them excited about it,
Mm-hmm.
and then name price. I keep my customers informed throughout the process if I need to. Like, if I'm not sure about a project, I'll tell them right out, like, hey, this is the first time I've done this. I'm guessing that it's going to be X amount of dollars. Let me get going on it, and I will call you by the end of the day or 4 hours in, and I'm going to let you know if I'm on target or not. So that I don't surprise them at the end with a $1,000 bill instead of a $500 bill.
Right.
But once I do that one, because that's that first time. Once you do the one, it's just mainly, the process is the same for the most part, no matter what. I mean, you have some that are worse than others, but it's like you're doing the same process. So I just figure, okay, this process, I'm going to do this, but it's going to take me an extra 20 minutes per process. So I can kind of calculate that in my head at that point. But it's that first one that you have to just be brutally honest with your customer. My customers, they follow us quite closely, and usually they're really good about just, hey, you do what you got to do and let us know.
Yeah.
And I really, I kind of encourage, like, if it's a new thing that I want to do, I try to seek a personality even, and I might even give them a little bit better deal so I can find out if I even want to do it in the future. Because the last thing you want to do is somebody come in, you commit to it, and then you find out I should have never did this. And I've had some of them.
Yeah, and you got to find the right person. We do that with some of the stuff on our software on RoadFS. We have people that test it out, and they know they're doing that. And I really appreciate the people that do those things, because they understand that there's going to be bugs in it and there's going to be things that don't work exactly right, but they're helping us make it better for everybody. So being in Wisconsin, you have this thing called weather. So do you diversify during the bad seasons, or what do you do during the not so stellar seasons?
There's some things that I try to really key in on. Fortunately this year we've been busy with detailing. We've been busy with coatings. I mean, we're booked out for coatings even like for and a half. So, nothing really slowed down. But one thing that I push really hard this time of year is, like, I do the inner panel rust inhibitor coatings because we're in Wisconsin. So I can get 3, 4, 5 of them scheduled in just within a day, and they're easy. They take about an hour to 2 hours to do. They're good money. So that kind of helps. The other thing is, with us being in Wisconsin, I push like weather tech stuff as much as I can. There's good margins on that. So you learn to kind of push the products that work for your area. Obviously, this year's been a little bit different for us. Like I said, we're always busy, but this is, I don't know what it is, if it's the COVID or if it's just we're just getting more swamped, I mean, so I just don't see usually December or January, I'm like, we'll have a little bit of a lull. But I don't see that happening this year. So, unless everybody cancels.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
So looking back over your last 15 years with you and your wife, what are some key things that you've learned as a business owner that you think are really critical for other guys that are up and coming or striving to grow to implement in their business?
Obviously, just working smart, finding processes that work for you. There's a lot of smart people out in the industry, and, just because their process works for them, it doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because of the size of your shop or the people you have working for you. But there's little things I've implemented at my shop. For example, I have my vacuum cleaner and my pressure washer. It's all on a remote, and it hangs around our neck, and we can turn it on and off from our neck. So we're not, we're eliminating steps. Same thing comes to anything else how can you eliminate them steps? And then the other thing is, finding product that works for you, like the chemicals you're using. A lot of great manufacturers out there. I rep for a company too, and, there's just, we'd be lying to you as reps if we said that we have the best product overall of everything. There's just so many great products out there, and one company might have the best coating, one company might have the best pre-coat. There's just so many different variables, and you have to find out what works for your shop, because it might be ease of application. It might be what your customers really want or need. It might be just something that's random and new that people are seeking. So just doing what's best for you. Using the professionals of the industry is always a great thing. I am connected with Big D, of course. We throw a lot of ideas back and forth. I talk with Marcus from IGL a lot. Brett Wellsing with SPS, Jeremy Casper, Mike Smith. We just we communicate back and forth a lot, and we share ideas, and don't be afraid to do that. Find people that are a good influence on you, and trying new things. But the biggest thing that I've learned though is, I've built 2 brand new shops over the last 5 years because I outgrew them. So plan ahead a little bit, because the growth will come if you're not afraid to work.
Right.
And it's just a lot easier to plan ahead and get ready for the future, because there's a lot of work out there, and there's a lot of people that don't want to work. They don't want to put in the time. So if you're not afraid to work, if you're not afraid to detail, the work's going to come, as long as you give it all. So, but we also implemented like retractable hoses, hoists, so that we don't have to sit there and bend down the whole time while we're buffing. So that's another big thing. I know a lot of people out there, they struggle with ergonomics. Our bodies wear out really fast as detailers. So plan ahead, young. Don't just think that, hey, I'm young and I'll be okay. Plan ahead and invest that money into your health. So.
Yeah, you would have think Rod's been a detailer all his life.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've done enough stuff to be all crippled up as it is. I've only been doing detailing for a few years. There's a lot of other crippled up things you can do. So the other thing is, I think, is training. You've mentioned a ton of the really important things is, people don't be afraid to go and ask for help and get training, because I think in general, people, I'm going to say guys more often than not, are very proud, and they don't want to go out and seek help. But if you find mentors and people you can call and ask questions and get help when you need it, like you said, surround yourself with good people. We're very, very lucky in this industry, because there's tons of people that you can call and help. I could probably pick out 15 people on my phone alone that I could call and ask a detailing question right now, and 10 of the 15 would answer the phone on the first couple of rings. Right. Find somebody that you can work with, that you can, and I know guys that are working with other detailers in their market. They bounce ideas off somebody right down the street from them, because they understand there's enough work, and they're not so worried about that territorial, yip, at somebody that's right down the street. There's a lot of work there, and if you're so busy you can't handle it, what's wrong with handing off something to somebody else?
So you're out in the middle of
You're exactly right, because I have some friends that, I don't have any detailers like right in my neighborhood, but 35 minutes away, I have some really good friends. We send each other work, and the biggest thing is we help each other. But what you'll find out is your customers actually appreciate that too. When I can say, hey, I can't do it, but I can send you to Jesse Knoll and he can get it done for you. And he does the same for me, so and it's amazing what the customers think of that. Like, wow, you're willing to, and I'm like, yeah, I trust him, so he's going to do it right. And, next time he's going to send you right back to me if he can't do it. So, I firmly believe in that. There's no such competition is great, but we have friendly competition around here that we're willing to help one another. And we don't want to see each other sink. We want to help each other out. And, in fact, one of my, I guess some people would say he's my competition, but we're literally looking at opening a shop together, another one in another location. Nice. So just kind of be open-minded about that.
That's phenomenal, man. And you're out, you're literally out in the cornfield. So how do people find you? Obviously, they're finding you via word of mouth and you have a great reputation. But for those new to you or tuning in, how do people find you and your wife?
Well, we are, the city itself is kind of in a cornfield, but we're actually right on the main highway that goes through. So I have a nice big billboard along Highway 29 that you can check it out and see us right away. So so that kind of helps us. But otherwise, people just see us. They're going to see us we try to do live videos once in a while. Our Facebook, we promote anything in town. And that's another big thing is detailers, help your community.
Yep.
And we do scholarships for high school kids. We donate a lot of our time and service to events going on. We host car shows. Just being known out in the public is huge, and because you only have 2,000 people in your community, they all have relatives and relation and friends in other communities. So it gets around really fast.
Yep.
So, that's
absolutely
awesome.
Very, very solid advice. So as we wrap this up, we are going to give away a bunch of stuff. And how this is going to work, we are going to reach into this bowl and pull out a name of anybody who has shared a post that has mentioned RoadFS, Buff and Shine Manufacturing, and Reflection Artist and said something nice about us. There are, just for anybody watching or anybody that will watch this, bonus pads if you go subscribe to our YouTube channel. So what we're going to do is every single month, we're going to throw the names of everybody that's done something, that's posted, and said something in this bowl. If you post again, throw another one in the hat.
Bonus!
If you go out and you subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'll throw your name in there again.
Bonus!
We're just going to pull a name out. That name is the only one that's eliminated. But if you don't keep posting, there's just more and more and more names that are going to go in there, and you're having less and less of a chance of getting in there. And this is month 1, right? And there's already a ton of stuff in there. So we're just going to pull a name out. I'm going to read it off, and then we're going to wrap things up with Mike, and then get ready for next month's. So
remember, every last Thursday of the month is when we're going to be giving away this huge relief package in tag team effort with Buff and Shine and RoadFS. So thank you, Dr. Clinto and the Buff and Shine team for making this possible. And our winner is
John Cornelia at American Detail Corp.
Pooh! Booyah!
So John, we will get a hold of you, and we will get you this box of stuff. And again, go subscribe on YouTube, Extra Pads. There are tons in there. We filled up 12 boxes of pads, and Clint from Buff and Shine has said all along, if you need more, let us know. So this is a fantastic opportunity for anybody that has a detailing business, that's starting a detailing business, has been around for 100 years. It doesn't matter. It's free stuff. And you get free software and consulting from 2 really weird guys right here.
Right here. So and we're not wearing our Halloween costumes. This is actually us.
Yeah. Surprise. Scary mask install. So, Mike, before we take off, what other advice would you give detailers? Either somebody that's been in business for, it doesn't matter, 20 years, or somebody that started out 20 minutes ago. What is the advice you would give detailers?
Well, first thing, and people that follow me, they're going to know this right away, but my philosophy in life is just to own it. And so everything that I do every day is I'm going to own my day. So don't let things get down on you. Just, keep plugging away, keep working. It's not always easy, but in the end, if you continue to do what is right, it all comes back at you. So that would be my biggest advice to anybody. And it applies to detailing, or it applies to your life in general. So
Yep.
I love it. So own it, baby. Own it. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Make sure you go like, subscribe, give us some love, because we got some goodies coming in November, and we just love being a part of your life. And so make sure that you check us out, same time, same bat channel, just next week right here on RoadFS Detail Memoirs. See ya.
See you later. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
You bet.